Hello everyone, Lore Master here, and today we're gonna go back to our modding tutorial series. I know a lot of you have been waiting for a couple days now, so I thought I'd make a video just because why not have some free time. And today we're gonna actually be making our first item, so we're actually getting into the meat of making our mod, which is really exciting. And it seems a little scary if you have never done it before, but I promise it's super easy, and by the end you should be able to add multiple items without even going back to this tutorial. So we'll get into that in a sec. First we have to set up our folders because there's a lot of new folders we need to use now. So over here in source/main/resources, actually before we do that, I found a way to actually make viewing this a lot easier, all these packages, because it's going to get very chaotic. You're going to want to go up to this little triangle up here, view menu, click on that, go over to package presentation and click on hierarchical, if that's how you say it. And if you click that, you'll see it gets a lot more organized. You have the sub packages under the main packages rather than their own packages, and it just makes it a lot nicer in my opinion. You can go with the original if you want, but I think that's a lot better. So now we're going to create our folders. So go to your source/main/resources right here, right click, new, and package. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an assets folder, and this folder is pretty much where all of our textures and models and everything for our blocks and all that stuff is going to go. So you're going to want to name this assets dot your mod ID. Now if you don't know what your mod ID is, it's this little thing right here, mod ID mod underscore ID. If you remember, we named it the first initial of, or sorry, the first letter of my username, the name of my mod, and then the name of and then M for mod. So for my case, it's gonna be Lore Master Tutorial Mod LTM, because that's my mod ID right up there. You want to make sure it copies it exactly. Press finish when you're done. Now we're gonna make another package inside of that. We're gonna go new package on the assets.ltm, and we're gonna add a .lang to the end. Finish that. Then once we're done with that, we're gonna add another package. So go back to assets.ltm, and you're gonna click new package, delete the lang because we don't need that anymore. And instead, what you're going to put is, I believe, I'm trying to think of what we need for our item. I think we're gonna need models, or that'd be for a later tutorial, but we'll make it anyway. So add .models to the end. Press finish. Go back to assets.ltm, new package, and .textures. I promise we're almost done. There's only a couple more packages to make. Now inside of textures, you're gonna want to make a new, remember textures, not assets. Go to textures, right click, new package, and you're gonna want to add a .item to the end. And then I think, no, actually it's gonna be items with an S. And then you're gonna press finish. And in models, over here, you're gonna do right click, new package, and this is gonna be .item, no S, just item. Press finish on that, and I think your folders should be good. Okay, so now that we're done setting up our model and texture folders, we can actually start coding. Now we need to make a couple more folders. I know there's a lot of folders, but then we can actually start coding. So go back to your mod class, or not mod class, sorry, your package, your main package, column.username. Whatever the name of your mod is. You're gonna right click that and go to new package, and the first one you're gonna make is gonna be titled just init, which stands for initialization, if you didn't know that. And you're gonna go back and make another package, and this package is gonna be named items. There we go. So these two folders will basically hold initialization and items, and this is gonna be all the important stuff for your item that is all gonna go inside of there. Now inside of init, which again stands for initialization, you're gonna make a new class, and this class is gonna be named mod items. And make sure it's a capital M and a capital I. That's extremely important. Press finish, and now you have your new mod class. Now we can actually start coding, and we're gonna add a couple methods here. Okay, so now we're gonna add a couple of methods, as I said before, and this is just gonna help us create our item later on in the future. In this video, I mean not far in the future. So first thing we're gonna do, just go a little bit farther down from public class mod items, and you're gonna wanna type public static void init, and add some parentheses at the end. And behind that, after this string, you're gonna want to add a little curly bracket and press enter, and that should make that should finish the little section right here. Then below this curly bracket, you're gonna want to make another space, and you're gonna want to type public static void register. parentheses again, and another curly bracket. Press enter, and below this curly bracket, we're gonna make another method, and that's gonna be called public, I think public static void. Yes, it is gonna be public static void, if I remember correctly. Public static void register renders, with a capital R for the renders part. Then parentheses again, curly bracket, and we're gonna make one more method, and that is gonna be private static void, and that is because we have a private method here instead, and that is gonna be register renders as well. Render, or not render, sorry, register render in quotation marks, or not quotation marks. God, I can't speak English right now. In parentheses, we're gonna actually type something real quick. We're gonna type item with a capital I, and we're gonna name this item. So item. First item has a capital I, second item has no capitalization. Then behind this, another curly bracket, oh, wrong brackets, curly bracket, and enter, and there we go. So these are our methods. You're gonna wanna import item right here, so hover over it, and make sure you import it from net.minecraft.item right here at the very top. Click on that, and you'll see it's imported up here, and all your methods inside of your mod items are pretty much finished here. So now we can actually start making our item and customizing it and all that sort of good stuff. Okay, so now we can actually make our item. We can start customizing it and all that stuff. So right above public static void init, right here, you're gonna want to make a couple spaces, and right above it, you're gonna want to type public static item with a capital M, or sorry, capital I, and now you're gonna want to name your item whatever the name of your item is. So if you're gonna name it, for example, let's see, ice, you'd name it ice. If you were gonna name it, I don't know, hardened clay, you'd name it like that. In this case, we are actually gonna be making an obsidian ingot, just for later down the road, so I can show you guys how to make like obsidian armor and stuff like that. So we're gonna name it obsidian ingot, and we're gonna add a little semicolon at the end there. Now that we have that all set up, we can actually go inside of public void init, public static void init, and below that we're gonna actually type obsidian ingot equals new item with a capital I, and whatever you want to name your class. I'd name it exactly what your thing is. So item, and then obsidian ingot with a capital O, obsidian ingot. Now this is actually going to be a class that we're going to make in a little bit, and actually real quick, add a little parentheses there, and a semicolon. And now that we have that set up, make sure you save, because you always want to save right up here in the corner, or Control Shift S. And now we have our item obsidian ingot. This class has not been created yet, so we actually need to make it right now. So go to your items folder, or sorry, package over here, and you're gonna want to right click, new class, and we're gonna name this item, capital I, obsidian ingot. So yeah, capitalize the first letter in each word. In this case, I'm not capitalizing the I in ingot because I am classifying obsidian ingot as all one word. We'll change the name of the item later, so don't worry about that. And below here, we're actually going to change this little super class. So you can just delete that, and we're actually going to change it so that Minecraft can reference that it's an item and stuff like that. So we're actually going to put net.minecraft.item.item with a capital I, this string right here for our super class. Once you're done with that, we're going to click finish. And this is basically going to be where we'll fully customize our item. You can add all sorts of stuff we'll talk about in a sec. More so for blocks, when we get into that, you'll be able to set the hardness and the resistance and all that stuff of the blocks. For items, there's not much you can customize besides the crafting recipes, and that's about it. Crafting recipes and enchantments that are on them, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So now that you've created your class, we can delve further into making our item. Now inside of our item obsidian ingot, we're gonna create a constructor, which we'll use a little bit later. So just make a couple spaces here, or one space is fine. And you're gonna wanna type public item obsidian ingot, or again, whatever you named your class up here. If it was like item cheese or item rock, you'd put item rock and that sort of thing. So yeah, then you're gonna wanna put parentheses, and after that, a little curly bracket, and press enter. And that should be your constructor good. Make sure you save, and we're done with this this class for now. We'll come back to it in a sec. Alright, so now we need to go back into reference, our reference.java class, and we're gonna have to define, allow the game to basically reference what our item is. So go back to your reference class, or if it's not up here, you can double click on it right here. I mean. And below all your client proxy stuff, make a couple spaces, and you're gonna wanna type public static enum, and then the name of your mod and items. So for example, my mod is named tutorial, so tutorial items with a capital I on items and a capital T in tutorial, or whatever you're naming your mod. And then you're gonna make a little curly bracket, press enter. That should finish that off. Now inside of this, we're actually gonna add our item, so we're gonna add it in all caps. So for example, my item is named obsidian ingot, so in all caps we're gonna type obsidian ingot, and this is going to have some parentheses at the end, and inside these parentheses we're gonna actually have quotation marks, and inside these quotation marks we're gonna have the name of our item. So for example, mine is obsidian ingot. Basically put in here whatever you put in your mod items for right here. Just copy it and put it in there, and you should be okay. After the end of this, you're gonna wanna add a semicolon, press enter, and I think you should probably press enter one more time just so you can space it out a little nicely. Then type private string unlocalized name with a capital N in name. Then you can put a semicolon there, and below that, just copy this, paste it down below, and instead of unlocalized name, you're gonna want to instead put registry name with, again, a capital N in the name. And this is basically just gonna allow us to get the unlocalized name and the registry name if it wasn't obvious enough. So below this, now, we're actually gonna type, we're gonna create a thing to tell the mod or computer or whatever you want to call it, basically what our strings are doing. So you're gonna want to name whatever, I guess you put this. So yeah, take this, whatever you put up here, paste it down here, and you're gonna make this have some parentheses at the end of it, and inside these parentheses you're gonna want to put string with capital S dot, or sorry, not dot, that'd be a bad idea, unlocalized name with capital M. You're gonna want to do a comma is the name of it, string again, and registry name, which if you're perceptive enough is the same thing as up here. At the end of this, add a semicolon, and below this you're gonna put this dot unlocalized name with a capital N. Yes, I believe that's how we do it. Then equal sign, space after that, and unlocalized name, semicolon. Then below this, you can just copy this string right here, paste it below. Instead of unlocalized name though, you're gonna wanna type registry name. And same right here. We can actually just delete the unlocalized here and keep the name registry name. And if we save it, there are a couple errors, so I will check on that in a sec and we'll be right back. Okay, so we got a couple errors, and like I said in the last video, you're gonna get these all the time because there's just so many things to worry about. So out here, that I was just fixing it back there, just ignore that little curly bracket. This is what we had before. Now the issue here is that we actually didn't add enough of these curly brackets. Now these curly brackets really matter because they basically set the groups, and it's really important. So we actually added a semicolon here instead of a curly bracket, so the computer thinks that this string ends right here and nothing else happens after it. So it doesn't recognize these parts right here, the this.unlocalized name and the this.registry name. So we need to delete this little semicolon at the end, and instead space and replace it with a curly bracket and press enter. And inside of this curly bracket, just move these two strings inside of there, and that's going to put this all under one tree of stuff. And as you can see there, if you press save, fix the error, and this is all good. Now there is still an error here, but that is because we haven't defined it yet. Don't worry about that, we will define it in a sec. Actually, we're going to add one more thing. Next to obsidian ingot, we're going to add a comma, a space, 2 more quotation marks, and inside of these you're going to want to add your mod class, or sorry, your item class. So you can see we named it item obsidian ingot, so inside here we're going to type item obsidian ingot, and that should fix pretty much all of the errors. So as you can see here, that error disappeared and this error disappeared, so that's good. I was worried for a second, I thought there was an issue, but I just made a stupid mistake. Now we actually need to add a couple more strings to this before we're actually done with this folder, this folder, this class. So below the little thing we set up right here, just below this brackety thing, we're gonna make a little space and just type public string with a capital S, get unlocalized, capital U, get unlocalized name, parentheses, and at the end of this, curly bracket, press enter. Now, inside of this, gonna make a little, not an indent, keep it where it is, then put return unlocalized name with a capital N. And we're gonna put a semicolon at the end of that to mark the end of that little section right there. Then below this little curly bracket, we're gonna go below this, and we're gonna actually type another string. We're gonna type public string with a capital S, and get, you guessed it, registry name, because that's what we set up above. So string get registry name with a capital N and quotation marks, or not quotation marks, parentheses. Gotta start saying those right. For some reason I keep forgetting the name of these and calling them quotation marks, but they are indeed parentheses. Then after that, make a space and a curly bracket, press enter, and again you're gonna want to type return registry name with a capital N and a semicolon, and that is going to finish off this little section. So we're pretty much done with the reference folder for now. We might come back to it, I think we might, yeah, but for now we're pretty much done. Now we're going to head back to our item obsidian ingot, or whatever you named it, and make sure you save, because that's important, just in case your computer crashes or something like that. Go back to your item class, and inside of public item obsidian ingot, or whatever you named it, we're just going to type a really long string. So I might put these down in the description, maybe not, we'll see. If they are down there, you can just copy and paste them and change them according to your item, because they're kind of long. So you're going to want to type set unlocalized name, but with a capital U for unlocalized, localized name with a capital N, and in quotation mark, oh gosh, I always say quotation marks, inside of parentheses, thank you, we're gonna type reference dot tutorial items, or whatever you named that, up here, where did we put it, tutorial items, somewhere, why am I not remembering this, oh right, we put it inside of here, tutorial items, somewhere in here, I'm trying to think. We put it inside of in here somewhere. It doesn't matter. Whatever you named that. Dot. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. I believe we put the name of our item. Yes, we do. The name of our item in caps. So obsidian ingot. We have it right here. Just double click that. Dot. Get unlocalized name. Double click that. And at the end of this, we can add a semicolon. Now you're going to add another string down below, or not a string, but I just call them strings. They're not technically strings, but you're going to copy this just to make it easier for you. Just copy that, paste it down below, and after you've pasted it, you're going to change a couple things. Change this to set registry name with a capital R. And you can leave all this be, except instead of get unlocalized name, you're going to want to put get registry name with a capital R. and that should pretty much be good for these two strings. Now we need to go back to our mod items, and this is where we're going to start adding the item officially into the game. Go back to mod items, and you'll see, remember, we never imported this because we didn't have the class. You can just hover over it and import item, and that should get rid of that error right there. You can save just to get rid of the error. Now we're going to add some things inside of these public static voids. So instead of public static void register, down below here, we're going to add game registry with a capital G and a capital R. Dot register and register quotation mark or parentheses, not quotation marks, and add a little semicolon at the end here. And inside of these parentheses, you're gonna add pretty much just the name of your item that you put up here. So just copy that. You can just paste it below right here, and that should be pretty much good. Now, below this one right here, register renders, public static void register renders, you're just gonna type register render, capital R there, and in parentheses, you're gonna put pretty much the same thing you put here. Pretty simple. And, oh my god, inside of there, thank you, and a semicolon. And I believe we had one more. Oh, this is the big one. So this little string I'm gonna type out is extremely long, like ridiculously long, like goes off of the page long. So I'll probably put it in the description if you don't want to type it out. Just make sure you change it according to your mod and your item, because otherwise it'll give you an error and it won't work. But I'll put it in the description in case you want to copy it, because it's just ridiculously long. So okay, here we go. So you're gonna want to type Minecraft with a capital M. Oh, this is always fun. Dot get Minecraft, capital M again. Dot get item, I believe it's item measure. Get, maybe that's not correct. I think it's get render item. Dot get render, yeah, it is dot get oh gosh, I need to be able to speak English here. Dot get render item. Then at the end of that, dot get item model measure. Then another one, we're gonna add dot register, and you're gonna want to choose the second one here that has meta in it, because this one doesn't have init or meta. So click the second one, and inside of item, we're just gonna leave it item because that's what we defined it as up here. Inside of meta, we're gonna add 0, and inside of location we're gonna add another long string because this is just ridiculous. But yeah, I know it's ridiculous, it's really long, but I'll put it down in the description. Now inside of location that we deleted right here, you're gonna want to type new, I believe model resource location, if I remember correctly. Model resource location, yes, and then parentheses, and inside these parentheses we're gonna type reference dot mod ID. Just double click that. Then we're gonna add I'm trying to think here. I think it's a plus and a colon with within parentheses, then another plus, then item dot get unlocalized name, and inside of that, if we can just scroll over, I know it's a ridiculously long string, just bear with me, we're almost done. And inside of these parentheses, we're going to type nothing. Actually, I think we're just going to put dot substring, and inside of this substring we're just going to put 5, and I know it's ridiculously long, I promise, it's almost over. Then after that we're going to add a comma, and just in quotation marks, just add the word inventory. That's going to set it to the inventory, and I think that should be good. Add a semicolon at the end here if you didn't already, and press save. And I think, oh, we're seeming to have an issue. Let's see here. I will go check that out real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, really stupid mistake on my part. I just actually forgot to import it. So just hover over model resource location and click import model resource location from net.minecraft.blah blah blah blah. Click on that, it'll go up here, and that should get rid of the error for you. Make sure you save, and yeah, sorry about that. It was just a stupid mistake on my part. Now, while we have created the item and technically it's inside of the game, sort of, it wouldn't actually get put in the game because it's not set, it's not basically running inside of the initialization events. So we have to go back to our, excuse me, to our tutorial.java or whatever you named it, your mod name, your mod class, and you're basically gonna have to register it is what I would call it. It's pretty simple. Just go down to your public void pre-init for pre-initialization, and inside of these two little curly brackets, you're just gonna type, let's see here, I believe, make a couple spaces, and inside here, we're just gonna type mod items with a capital M and a capital I dot init, little parentheses, and semicolon, and you can copy that and paste it below and put register instead of init for the below one. Register. And you might get a little issue here. Just click on, let's see here, what did I do wrong? Oh, it's mod items, sorry, add an S to the item there. It's not mod item, it's mod items. And you can import it if you hover over it, just import it right here. And that should get rid of the error for you, and we've registered it. Now we need to make sure that these things are only called on the client side because we don't want some issues happening there. So we need to go over to our proxy package over here. You remember making these three classes, I hope. Just open up all three of them real quick. And you'll see them up here. Inside of common proxy, we're gonna actually add a public void in it. So down in here, just type public void init, this little parentheses, and a semicolon at the end, and that should add that. Make sure you save. Now go back to your client proxy, and you're going to want to hover over this client proxy with the red arrow, and you're going to want to add, or sorry, not add, press add on implemented methods. That should add this little section right here. You can delete this little note, and that should be all good. And go over to server proxy, do the exact same thing, and just add unimplemented methods, and you can delete this string as well. And if you save, you should see that gets rid of the errors, and you've pretty much mostly set up the proxies. We actually need to make sure that the client side is actually registering it, so go to client proxy, and right in public void init, you're going to want to type mod items with a capital M and a capital I, mod items dot register renders. And you can just double click this, and that way we know for a fact, or I guess the system knows, to only call the mod items on the client side, so we don't have any cross proxy issues going on. Make sure you save it up here, and that's about all we need to do with the proxies. To make sure this register renders inside of our client proxy actually runs during the initialization phase, go back to your tutorial.java or your mod class, whatever you named it, and inside of the initialization box right here, you're going to want to type, I believe, proxy.init, and that should set it up pretty nicely. Yeah, there we go, so you can double click that, and we just need to have that sitting in there. I'm just going to clean this up real quick just to make it a little bit neater. And once you have that inside, this will basically just tell the game during the initialization phase to refer to this string we have right here, and Forge will pretty much take care of the rest. So make sure you save that. And now we have pretty much added our item. There's no texture yet, and we haven't added a custom name or any attributes or anything like that, but the item is actually inside of the game. So to test this, if you go up to this little green button right here, the run button, you can click on that, and it will run Minecraft for us. It's going to take a little while because the Minecraft on here is very slow for Eclipse for some reason, but it will load up, and if we're lucky, if we didn't make any mistakes for some reason, it should be inside of the game. So yeah. Okay, so I skipped to when Minecraft was loaded because it was taking a really long time, but go into a single player, just go to a world. I have a world here called tutorial mod test world, just to test out our mod and stuff. I'll probably make it nice later, and so we can test all our new items and stuff out, but we should have our item inside the game. It will not have a texture. It'll just be kind of weird looking, but it will be in the game, which we'll deal with in a sec. So go to your command prompt, or by pressing T, and type /give space, then press tab to get your player name, and space, and you're going to want to type your mod ID. So ours is LTM, yes, Lore Master Tutorial Mod. Then you're going to want to add a colon, and press tab and it'll autofill your item. So for me, it's item obsidian ingot, as we see here. And if you press enter, we should have our item. If we throw it on the ground here, you can see it's right here. It looks like a block. I promise you it's an item. Otherwise it would say block.obsidianingot.name, but it is indeed an item. It doesn't look like anything yet, but we will work on the textures in just a second, and we'll make it look like something really cool. But you should feel proud because your item is officially inside of the game, even though it doesn't have a name or a texture. You actually put it inside of the game, which is pretty cool if you think about it. So yeah, we're gonna go fix the textures and name right now.